Hello everyone. Hello everyone. We are back. The show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself and the Man City Man, Peter Stirrup. How are you, Pete? How are you doing?
Uh, Good morning, Saubrey. Good morning, viewers. Hope you like the show. Uh, Good to have you back.
I don't know that side. The weather. Oh, I don't.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Absolutely beautiful.
Is it? But these days,
It's going to be hot today.
that would be nice. It's on and off. I know Friday, no Thursday. No, Wednesday, I intended to go somewhere to go and work there, but we wanted to set up a gazebo outside. But it was chill. I said, nah, it's not gonna work. So I'm just hoping it will come right. Um, guys, we are together on Sesam, Remoho, Sisonke, Rekaufela, the beat goes on. We know that Pirates is playing. This is what we call the mother of all wars. This
Sure.
is a Pirates game. They are trading 3-0. And what makes very interesting about this game is the fact that the coach of Lupopo, the opponent, I don't know whether should I say he speaks a lot or he's playing a mind game. He's confident that they're going to win. They're coming here to win. They're not going to even to defend the 3-0, which is a good attitude. And then, yeah, so those are things that we are going to look at. But before we go there, Pete, I don't know whether you hear that Benny McCarthy, there's a coach, no, a player. Um, I just want to show what he said, a player from the national squad who says good things about him. Um,
A little bit bigger, please. So
can you see that?
make it a little bigger.
Oh, bigger.
That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. The player is so excited about Benny. He said, "This is this coach. He has learned a lot from him. He's a human being. Um, he doesn't just treat them like only soccer players. He goes beyond. Now that tells me that the psychological part of it, it's important. What can you say about the psychological part of the players. And what can you say about the experience? Is the experience very important? You know why I'm saying that? Because Benny, I know he's from the Cape Flats, rough area. We know how rough Cape Flats are. And then he said everybody was drinking in that area, the neighborhood. His father was always drunk. And then he said that had a huge impact on him to say, when I grow up, I'm not going to drink. I want to be a nuisance like just what my father is doing to us. Yeah, so as part of experience, Benny has been coached by great coaches. Mourinho is one of them. I know that Mourinho is his favorite coach. Yeah. So what can you say about that in short?
Well, I think we all take our experiences from our youth, when we're growing up. So, and we always look as guys, we always look at to our fathers, for an example of how to be. And in this case, which is not a little bit unlike my growing up there, I didn't want to be like my dad, and he didn't want to be like his. But it can be two ways, can it? You can either follow in your father's footsteps, as they say, and you can go downhill, or you can stand up and say, "No, I'm not going to be like that." And that's what Benny did. And then, obviously, once he got into the sports field, you get experience, like you say, from let's say wise people. Mourinho. I mean, we all know Mourinho. He's um, he's a good coach. He has his moments from time to time, but I think that's just the coaching game. Some you win, some you lose. But yeah, uh, kudos to Benny. I think, if you think where he came from and where he's taken himself there, I think there's a lesson for all of us there to follow that. You don't have to because you come from poor circumstances. Let be a victim of that. You can fight and push forward and make one step in front of the other till you make it what you want to make it. Actually, the only limitation is yourself, huh? So yeah, kudos to Benny. We all know Benny's a good coach. He was a good player. He was a good coach. So it's not a surprise to me, but it is nice to know that he's got and we were talking earlier a little bit about David Beckham and how he's grown up. It's a very important part of the game to have not just the players that you need to play the game, and then you treat them as a number. Okay, Peter, you go play on the left. Saubrey, you go play up front, and it's all about the game and not considering the players' personal circumstances. We've had many conversations about that, but the better coaches actually know what's going on in their players' personal circumstances. And as much as it's really difficult to do based on maybe how big the squad is, they get involved. They make sure that, and I think we've all felt that, even the viewers, I'm sure they'll relate to this. You can go to a job and you can have a pretty good job. It's you go to work, you feel like you're contributing, etc., etc. But then you get a job where you really love that job, and then you think, well, why do I like this job? It's because you're not a number. People appreciate you for you as well as what you do for the job. And we've always had this. We've had this conversation about players. It's a two-way street. Players have got to contribute and give what they need to give. And as an employer, the coach needs to give what he needs to give to his players, whatever that might be, from a emotional support. Let's rather put it that way. So kudos to Benny. He's used that experience and he's using it with wisdom over years. And that's when you get players like this saying that he's a great coach.
So it's always good to get somebody's experience. Unlike Gulande, Umatagin, I don't know whether you hear what I'm saying. A guy from the hoods who will never played football and say coach, because he does not have that psychological, that mentality of what the player really needs. Because sometimes players are human beings. They have moments. They have moments where they feel like they want to cry. They don't know who to cry to, and you want them to play. You want them to score goals, put in pressure. Yeah. Now let's rush quickly to Orlando Pirates. They are taking Lupopo. They're training. Should I enlarge this one too?
A little bit, please.
Yeah. FC Lupopo, and then the coach, Guy Bukasa, has made a very bold statement to say, won't be intimidated. Orlando Pirates mind games won't work against us. Grown men who can't take defeat by lying about bad treatment for being the reason they lost. They won't see the group stages. We'll make sure of it. We are not here to defend Trinidad first leg victory, but to win again. We heard so many stories. I don't know whether you got that.
I did hear something about that. Yeah, no, they had bad treatment there in Lupopo, were they? Oh no, that was Chiefs, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, even Pirates. They said some players.
Yeah, bad time.
And some of them could not sleep. Running stomach and all that. And my question is this: why are we always complaining as South African teams? I don't know. what do you think? We should continue with this Ubuntu, treat them well, because they also do it with the Bafana Bafana, and we continue to treat them well. Give them 5-star hotels, give them nice buses to travel, nice grounds. But when we go out in Africa, we are facing a rough time. Now, and it doesn't happen in Europe, South America, or Asia. It's us here in Africa. Are we really feeling what they are saying, the dark continent? We are still backwards in the manner we behave. I don't know.
I think we have to lead by example here, Saubrey. Irrespective of the way that we are treated or supposedly treated, you know, we need to show them. We need to be hosts. We need to show them the right way, and then maybe over time, if we do that, then we'll be received with respect. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you do the same as what they supposedly did to us, you know, then you know better than them. You know, you've got to set the example. Yeah, that's my feel on this one. But it's Viking talk, this, eh? This guy's coming, eh? He's coming with his team, and he's not backing down yet. So bold statements. But you know what? It's easy to talk 3-0 from a 3-0 base, huh? I think. Look, I think Pirates they've got a game in their hands. They need to at least score 3 to go to a penalty shootout, but that's not the preferred, eh? And like we always say, or like it almost seems like my favorite saying now, the early goal is going to be key here.
Yeah. Just like you said with Bafana Bafana, early goal will definitely assure us that we move to the next round. And then and I hear what you're saying. We can't be like them and behave the way they behave. But this is not nice. Absolutely not nice. Remember, we have been suffering this since from 1992, since our readmission to the world football. This is what we have been suffering as South Africa. And then maybe what we need to do, maybe is to do what we are doing now. Speak about things so that other people in other parts of Africa, they are aware that we are aware. It's not that we are not aware. It is not that because we don't want to do what they are doing, maybe we are stupid or I don't know. But they need to be aware that we are aware. Okay. So I don't know what to say about it.
Well, I would ask one question here. You talk about, you know, we get bad treatment when we travel in Africa. But are we the only team that get this bad treatment, or you know, is it that all teams are badly received when they go to other places within the African continent? It's not just here, though. I mean, you see this in Europe. I mean, we were talking the other day that if you travel to Turkey and you play Fenerbahce or you play, I can't remember the other team now, of the 2 top ones there, you receive a hostile environment, but it's mostly from the crowd, not necessarily from, you know, the Football Association of Turkey in this particular case. So, look, I mean, it's difficult to control what the crowd does, but we're in complete control of how we receive our foreign hosts. And you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's the right thing to do is to receive them well, even if we don't get the same treatment, because eventually it's going to say something, isn't it?
Let me ask you.
It's going to say something.
Let me ask you. You're from Europe. Is it happening in Europe?
Oh, it is. Yeah, absolutely. More so in certain parts of Europe, I think. You know.
So it's a world phenomenon. It's something that is happening.
Yeah, but it's mostly it's not the football associations that will receive you badly. I think that is okay. It's the
It's the
intimidation from a crowd
fence. It's the
perspective.
fence.
Yeah, the fans, yeah.
The
And that
fence.
is difficult to control. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems to be in Africa we have a problem with the receiving football association or
Or
football
the
team.
or
And
the teams themselves.
yeah, it
Because
seems to be
remember,
that way, but
the issue of arranging the hotel and all that is
yeah,
done by the teams and the federation.
correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you're absolutely correct. If it's done by the fans, you can't control that one.
No,
Did you
we've
understand?
seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but if it's done by the teams and so on, it doesn't sound well. It doesn't sound well.
But you got
And the
to ask yourself,
federation.
why are they doing this? I mean, do they need to play such dirty tactics?
Mm,
Because their football doesn't talk to them. Yeah,
mm,
you know what I'm
mm,
saying? Yeah. And
mm,
yes, I think it's rough for the players. You get maybe not feeling well because of bad food or whatever the case may be.
mm,
It
mm,
is going to affect your game, but you know, how do you counter that? Do you counter that by? I mean, the only other way would be that you would have to make your own arrangements, and
mm,
you know,
mm.
and how would that be received?
Mm, mm. I remember Lucky Luhati, a former Pirates player. He would say sometime Dr. Koza would lead the boys. You know, you can imagine the whole chairman leading the boys
Mm.
and said, "Let's go." He said, "We are somewhere like in the field in the jungle, and you are even afraid." He said, "We are afraid to go out," but he would say, "Come, let's go." He would lead up front, and he would bring his own boys to go with them, and then he said, because of that action from him, they were motivated, especially in 1995. He said that's how we won that cup. Dr. Koza was leading up in the front. I think it was Luckily Who was saying that, or Eddie Mutale, one of the two, said he was leading up front and say, "We are going there. We are not scared of anything." Um, he said you could see going in the bushes where you come across a snake or what, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah, yeah. But it's as you say. I fully agree. If it's done by the fans, it is understandable. But if it's done by the
yeah,
teams and the association, it is not well. But I think we need to touch on this. But I think we need to revenge this in the field of play. Wish Orlando Pirates to score an early goal, to go all the
yeah.
way and win this game convincingly. And I'm sure Pirates will do that. They've got all
They got great players, eh? They got.
they've got all the material.
I'm confident that they could do it if they keep their mindset.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah,
there's Muremi, there's Sibilibili. Mufokeng has lost form these days, and I heard Hugo Bros was commenting. But I think it's probably could be what is happening in his life. Psychology, as we were saying,
yeah,
the mere fact that his father wanted him to go overseas, I think it has interfered with his mental stability, and then it also affected his performance. That is why the performance has deepened a little bit. And then you've got your Apollos who's doing well, and then I was very much encouraged by Evidence Mahopa
yeah. He's
doing
going to score
extremely
today for
well
sure. Yeah,
with
no,
his
he's a
height.
good player.
Yeah, and
But just
yeah,
but
yes, please.
just going back to Hugo Bross and his personal issues, and we saw that also with Pep, and that had an influence on Man City as well.
Mm,
When his wife and then we were going through the divorce. Um, so coaches like that will appreciate the fact that as with team members, they themselves can go through these, let's say, personal issues.
are you saying
You know,
Hugo Bros is
and
undergoing difficulties?
no, not Hugo Bross, sorry. I
Okay,
was
say Pep, Pep. Okay, Pep.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they're human beings. We
So
are all human beings.
yeah, but then the coaches take it on board and with wisdom because of their own personal tribulations,
Mm, mm,
they should see that and be keen to look for that within their players. If
mm, mm,
you can tell when people are going through bad times if you've got the eye for it. You can see it
mm,
and
mm,
their demeanor, as we call it.
Demeanor, yeah. We wish Pirates all the best. We must play football, and then,
they can do it.
like you
They can do
say,
it.
we don't have to be nasty. We don't have to
No,
be
no.
nasty. We need to allow them to play, give him the best hospitality. Let them go and play. Let them taste South Africa, and then let's feel Ubuntu. We'll continue. Maybe after, I don't know, 50 years, they'll come. They'll come and realize that this is wrong what they're doing. Because
We should lead the way.
I want us to qualify it. I want people to understand it. We are not against the fans doing it, although we are not encouraging it.
No.
Because we want us to, it's football, it's sport.
Yeah.
But we are saying if it's done by fans, you can't control that. But if it's done by teams, an association is unacceptable.
Sure.
It's unacceptable.
We should lead the way.
Yeah.
We should lead the way.
Yeah. And then I'm sure FIFA at some point must intervene. Will FIFA intervene on such things? What's your take? What's your
Well, they
take?
should. They should. They should. I'm not sure if of all FIFA's rules or whatever you there, but there should be something within those rules that talk about how you host different teams. And you know, there has been instances in Europe where teams have been sanctioned, you know, for bad behavior of even their fans. Yeah,
even the fans.
yeah. So maybe it needs to be you know, applied here if it's really as bad as we say it is, or it has been. And I actually maybe that's something to have a look at actually for the future show. What are the rules, and has it been applied in you know, within the African context? Yeah, we can maybe look at that.
And here we see Dr. Mutsipe must come to the party. He's the president of CAF. Yes, of course, they'll say he's a South African. There is a bit of some bias, but he has done a lot. He has brought money to the CAF Federation. So I think it's high time for him to come forward and say, guys, what your teams are doing to our teams is unacceptable.
I don't think it's just us though, Saubrey. I don't think it's just us. I think it's just a phenomenon that we're seeing. I'm sure other teams experience what we experience. I don't think it's we all like South Africa, but you know, I'm sure it's all there. And look, at the end of the day, you can say this because you know, there's some bias there. But how can it be biased if it's for the benefit for all? If we improve this, you know, then it's for everybody's benefit.
Yeah,
And
because
we want that kind of we want that kind of game where, you know, if you want to take your wife and kids to go and watch the game, you know, it's safe to do so, and it's a respectful environment. We don't want these you know, games where it's completely hostile. Although that's difficult to control, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. No, understandable, Pete. In the meantime, let me go to books, and then we'll be coming back. I want you to tell me about what's happening in England. Man City, of course, it's our normal feature on the show. And then we'll also be doing the Messi Special. Wow, what a game yesterday. I watched the game. The entire game, beautiful game. Messi was on form as usual, scored 2 goals. And then they started the day very well. He got the golden boot. That was the first, the golden ball. Okay. The golden boot. Yeah, the golden boot. He got the golden boot. And then this is the 9th one. Are you aware? This is the 9th one of his career.
No surprises with that, man.
And you know, golden boot now, 9th one at the age of 38. And then apparently, if you score, I think about 3 goals, he'll be the top goal scorer in MLS of all time. Very soon. He has already scored 2. So very soon he'll going to surpass. Now, let's start here. The first book that we are having is called Secrets for Becoming Rich. This one, we have the first and the second edition. And then this is the second edition of the book. You can get it from us. Just grab a copy for yourself. Here's another one. It's called How to Get Out of Bad Debts. Use other people's money and resources to get rich. And then, yeah, so those are some of the titles that you can get from us. And then here's another one by Nomsamas Bube, Entrepreneur Awakening with the Drive. This is the lady in hospitality business. If you want to know how did she started her hospitality business, that's a book for you. Here's another one by Darlene Small, Dr. Darlene Small. He's a doctor. I must respect that title. Dr. Darlene Small. How to Win the Wealth Game, the Art of Money. I love this. You know, I listen to GPF talking. GPF is a government employee pension fund, a government employee pension fund. There's this what you call the actuarial interest factor, which they've introduced, which they use it to calculate. So on Monday, between Monday and Tuesday, I'll be doing a TikTok explaining what is it and how does it affect people so that they understand. Because you need to understand, you know, in finance, they talk about all these funny names. So every once in 3 years, the GPF add what you call the GPF actuarial interest factor. The factor is used to calculate, all right? So it was done in 2014. It never had major impact. It was done again in 2021. It had a huge impact. Even now, it has a huge impact. So on Monday or Tuesday, I'll be doing a TikTok explaining that, and I'm sure I'll also do a YouTube video and then explain so that people understand, have the better understanding, especially when you are about to go out or exit the system. So it's all about money, because in finance they talk about all this terminology, you know, make it difficult for people. I don't know, why can't they make it simple? Maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe there's a reason behind it. Yeah, simple to understand. That the more you don't understand, ignorant you are. You know, and sometimes I listen to people, they explain to them, and you can hear that this person does not understand what it just yeah, ne, yeah, ne. Just to, and then the next thing is gonna make a decision, which is gonna have a lasting impact
Huge
on his
impact.
life.
Yeah.
And that is why they always encourage, as financial advisors said, when you explain in the language that the people understand. If a guy is a Zulu, explaining in a Zulu, all right, or
Sure.
in Afrikaans, in Portuguese,
Or
the
whatever.
language that is comfortable with, all right. And the funny, this is human nature. People don't want to ask, what is this GPF actuarial interest rate factor? Ask, what is it? Why? You know, and people don't even use the why question. You know, they just say, because they don't want to look stupid. That's another thing. They want to look good.
It's not stupid.
Yeah,
It's not stupid. You
yeah.
know, there's no dumb questions. There's only dumb
Mm,
answers, really. If you
So
don't understand, speak up.
ask.
That's the only one. It's the
Yeah,
only one.
ask. You
Yeah.
know, ask. Say, what does that mean? Simple. You
Yeah.
know, I laugh at this terminology, inflation. It's like it's a big word.
Mm.
It's simple price increment. Why don't you put it that way? Because I understand it better that way. All right, Pete, let's move on. So those are some of the books that we have. And then also there's another one which I wrote, I think that was in 2010. It's called How I Turned 500 Rand into a Million Rand Business. You can do the same. Anyone can do it. If one person can do it, why not you? Pete, in
Yes, boss.
England, what's happening? Man City. I see that you guys are back at number 2. At some point, you're number 1. And then I said, oh, okay, they're back now. They're back now. But now you're number two. So tell me, what's the story? What's the story? Not
Well,
forgetting,
it's
we
just
still have to
consistency.
discuss El Clasico tomorrow. That's a big one. Okay. Yes.
Well, they've developed some consistency for a change. So they're not necessarily that impressive on the pitch, but the results are coming with it. Yeah. So, and the reason rise, is thanks to Liverpool in a way because they've been losing matches. So Arsenal are pretty. They had one little bump in the road there, but at the
Mm,
end of the day, they're top with 3 points behind them now. So I think, yeah, it's just a little bit of a consistency coming through there. And I read an article that Pep wrote the other day. He says, we can still get better.
mm,
And, to beat this Arsenal side and take back the championship, that we had prior to Liverpool taking it last year, we're
mm,
going to need
mm,
that. But it's
mm,
really interesting at the top. I really think it's really a good watch if you're into the English football.
mm,
Um,
mm,
just as it's getting interesting in the PSL now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirates have been recording, consistent winning.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously now the
Mm,
the little bump in the road there with Cat. Their form is the best in the Premier League at the league at the moment. Yeah.
mm, mm,
So
mm, mm,
let's hope they can, as we said earlier, deliver on today,
mm,
and then we'll see how that goes.
mm,
And then,
mm.
I can't mention Manchester without mentioning our neighbours as well. Remember we talked about,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know,
Yeah.
what a fantastic win for Man United at Liverpool.
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
think there's some interesting games if you look at this into perspective. Yeah. So
Okay.
Arsenal are playing at home, against Crystal Palace. Now
Mm,
remember,
mm,
this is the same Crystal Palace um, that beat Man City in the FA Cup final.
mm,
And
mm,
this is a good side.
mm,
So I'm hoping from a Man City perspective, um, that they're going to do us a favor there.
mm.
Um, Bringing it back to Man United and their win at Liverpool, I think that might have saved Amarin's job, to be honest with you.
Mm,
I think he
mm,
was under severe pressure. But I
mhm,
hope that I hope they actually stick with this guy because I see good things happening at Man United. I see a chink of hope there, that they're going to do well. But they've got a game at home today against Brighton, also a
mhm,
very good side,
mhm,
also a very good side.
mhm,
So yeah, some interesting games today in the Premier League.
mhm,
But we were talking about managers that might get fired,
mm,
and Ange Postecoglou, uh, who
mm,
he was fired from last year from Tottenham,
mhm,
went to he went to Nottingham Forest,
mhm.
and he's been fired again. Yeah.
Mm.
So
It's been fired again.
yeah, he's been fired again. And
Mm,
within 20 minutes of losing 3-0 to Chelsea on Saturday, he was fired.
mm,
So he's
mm,
having a bit of a rough ride at the moment. Yeah.
mm. But
So he
coaching,
failed to, yeah,
mm,
he failed to win any of his 8 games in charge. Not one
mm,
win.
mm,
Uh, so his results, I've got them here. They lost 3-0 to Arsenal. No
mhm,
surprise there, really. That was at Arsenal.
mm,
Um, They lost in the Carabao Cup, which was the old League Cup as we used to know it, against Swansea, 3-2 away.
mhm,
Then they drew in the Premier League to Burnley 1-1.
mhm,
And then they in the Europa League they drew 2-2 with Real Betis.
mhm,
And, and then they lost at home to Sunderland, which is a newly promoted Premier
mhm,
League side, who,
mhm,
by the way, actually are doing quite nicely in the Premier League since they
mhm,
came up. And then they lost in the Europa League at home to FC Midtjylland. Uh,
mhm,
and then they went on to lose 2-0 at home, away to Nottingham Forest. And then the
mhm,
last game when he was actually fired, they were at home and they lost, the 3-0 to Chelsea. So yeah, he's had a bit of a rough ride there. But we said that he was one of the favourites I think it was last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. We were talking about managers that were likely to probably face the axe, and Amarim was the one, but he's turned it around now, with a fantastic win at Liverpool, like I said. And I watched that game. United were actually pretty good, yeah. They were criticised from Liverpool's manager by saying they play the long ball. So my answer to that is, so what? If it gets what the result, it's a tactic. The long ball's a tactic. So what?
So what?
You should be able. Yeah, you need to be able to defend against that.
Pete, what do you say about the comment by Hugo Bros? He said he's not interested to the player who plays for PSG, who shows some, I forgot the name. He's a Bosnian, something like that, but he also has his roots in South Africa. But Hugo Bros, he does his notes, man. He said this guy has already played for a few games for the, what do you call it? Not the mother country, or he has already played in overseas for a few games. So he doesn't see any chance for him to play for South Africa. What's your take about that bold statement by Hugo Bros? Is in line with what we've been saying all the time about him.
Yeah, no, he does his homework, eh? And I think that's what we like about him. And he's bold, a bit like the guys that are coming here with the 3-0 lead. Their coach is bold also. I mean, like it comes, like I said, with the 3-0 win behind them at this stage, but he's bold. So I like that. I like the idea. I'm not too sure about the player that he's referring to.
Well, the player is classic. Very good player. I love him. I must be honest with you. I love him. So for me, like you're saying, he's very bold. He's very bold. Very few people can take that stance and being consistent with his boldness, and he explains, and then and he can show. Now I'm saying this because Kaizer Chiefs fans have been complaining that he watched Kaizer Chiefs, but he said, "No, I haven't seen anything. I went there, but there's nothing." Right. But here is an international player who mesmerized Inter Miami in the Club World Cup. He said no to him. So it's consistency. This guy is consistent. There's quite a lot. And he has come out strongly to say he prefers Helman Mkelele to take over from him.
That's right. I saw that.
Yeah. What's your take about that? Let me hear your opinion.
Well, that might be true, but he's got a problem, Mkelele, at the moment now because he needs to be qualified, doesn't he? So I believe he's not. I believe he hasn't got the coach's qualifications at this stage. I stand corrected, but
I'm not sure about
fixable.
That. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe so. But that can be fixed. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just got to do the legwork, as they say, and get that sorted out. Well, he said in the article that I read, he said that he's a very similar coach to himself. So when he steps down and he takes over, you'll get the consistency. And I think consistency is important.
Yeah. And maybe.
But talking of Hugo Bros, but he also said, hey, we're a team. Bafana's now a team to be respected. He said we were a joke at first.
Yeah, no.
So he does it. He just says it the way it is.
Yeah,
He reminds me of Mourinho in that respect.
Yeah. I remember at some point his contract was about not to be renewed or something. There was a rumor that he was going to leave. No, he didn't show any shivering or whatever. No. And now I'm told that they are going to cut their salaries because of the difficulties.
And Safa's broke, eh?
And Hugo Bros is saying nothing. He doesn't go halabaloo. But let me tell you, because they've just qualified for the World Cup, they're going to get a lot of money. Even Gayton McKenzie has already said that I spoke to a
It's got
number
pay
of
bonus.
businesses, and then they were all saying, let them qualify. Maybe some of them, they thought they would not qualify. Let them qualify first. Because he was saying sponsors are falling on each other to sponsor rugby and cricket, but not much football. He said, I gave them a challenge. He said, no, let them qualify for the World Cup. He said, I'm going to hold them accountable. But where I'm disappointed with Mackenzie, he promised us VAR. I still want to know about that. What happened to that? Because we're supposed to start with VAR when the season starts, and up to this point in time, nothing has started. But Hugo Bros continues to be impressive, and I think he knows better. Ngane, I know Ngane very well as a player because I used to be a Cosmos fan. I used to attend the games. I've been with him. He looks very soft, but sometimes don't judge the book by its cover. And maybe a coach has worked with him very closely, he knows. If he says so, I'm not going to disagree with him, although I would have preferred Pizzo to come back. But I don't see anything with Ngane continuing. And then Ngane and Pizzo can work together because they've been at Cosmos, all of them. But yeah, I mean, what's the point of grooming somebody and then the next thing he doesn't take? Because even Peter was groomed by not Kuros, the Brazilian coach. What's his name again? Pires. No, Pereira. Pereira said, "No ways, Peter should take over as soon as I leave." So maybe we should follow that cue. Okay.
Let's watch this space, yeah. But he's like in England, we would say Hugo Bros is like Marmite. Marmite's like a spread that you put on your bread, etc. You either love him or you hate him.
Yeah, sure.
You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, it's up to you. Now, tomorrow, a big one, El Clasico. This is the biggest game in the world. Everybody watches this game, and then it always breaks records in terms of viewership. It's again back. I'm sure you've watched Real Madrid. Mbappe is on form. He's scoring goals. He's leading.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. And then he's leading, including Messi. Messi is following him now. He's leading. And then you look the Barcelona boys, the young boys, they're on fire. They're on fire. They do well. The coach, Barcelona looks good. I don't know. What do you want to say? Tell us. What's your analysis about that game tomorrow, which is tomorrow?
That's correct. Yeah. So look, I don't particularly watch the league as such, but I watch them in the Champions Leagues and things like that. So, but yes, Kylian Mbappe, sure, he's on fire. Yeah, 10 goals in 9 matches. But then Vinicius Junior has also found his rhythm. He's also scored 6 goals in 5 league games, something like that. And then, like you said, Barcelona, they've got Lamine Jamal. And that's going to be an interesting one. And then there's always that solidness in the midfield with Pedri now. So, but there's some injuries. There are some injuries. Real Madrid are getting Danny Cabal back and Trent Alexander-Arnold, etc. But Ferland Mendy remains sidelined at the moment. So, and then from a Barcelona perspective, Rafinha's back, but they won't have. Yeah, well, we all know he's a class player. Yeah,
yes.
Andre Ter, Steenson. There's lots of injuries to the Barcelona side, and if you look at the fixture, if you look at the fixture as a whole and the league title, the position, Real Madrid top at the moment, with Barcelona in second place. They're 2 points behind. Are you asking me to make a call on this one? Because Real Madrid are home, I'm gonna say they're gonna win this one, 2-1. But it's gonna be that's my, and I think it's going to be really interesting because both teams like to attack,
Mm,
um,
mm,
and they both at the moment have
mm,
vulnerabilities in defense at the moment.
mm,
From
mm,
what I've seen, at least anyway.
mm, mm.
I think it's going to be a good one to watch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a very nice one.
Maybe I'll make a point of watching that particular one. Yeah, as I say, because I
Yeah,
normally watch the Premier League and some local
yeah,
football as well.
yeah.
So,
Well, I do watch La Liga, but this
I,
year I've been very regular.
mm,
I'm doing my studies this year. So sometimes
yeah.
I check largely MLS because of Messi.
Mm,
If there's any other league that I watch, yes, La Liga sometimes, or your Man City.
mm.
Yeah, but I've seen La Liga. I've seen Real Madrid. I've seen Barcelona. This is gonna be a hell of a game.
An
Um,
umdinger.
yeah, it's gonna be a humdinger this one, because I'll tell you why. This is one game does not need any form, even if the team was off form. But for this game, the standard goes high. And my fear is, when I say my fear, remember I'm sympathetic towards Barcelona, but I'm looking at football. Mbappe is on fire. He's on fire,
He is.
scoring goals, and I think this will motivate him. And guess what? We are going to see Mbappe versus Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
How do you like that? and
I think it's going to showpiece. Yeah, for sure.
also see Vinicius Juniors versus what's his name? The one that you've just mentioned now. Uh,
Pedrick.
no, no,
Pedrick.
the Brazilian, um, the Brazilian,
Oh,
the one who says back from injury now. Um,
that would be
Rafinha.
Rafinha.
Yeah,
Rafinha. Yeah.
yeah. Vinicius Juniors and Rafinha, they are both wings. It's gonna be a very, very, very good game. Pedri is one of the genius in the middle of the park, and
Yeah.
then you know what? Underrated. But guess what? He's the one who started the piano right in that middle of the
Mhm.
park. And then there's the young man Kubasi at the back. He's not Puyol, he's not PK. He's playing his own football, but he's doing well. What about um, the French player at the back? What's the name again? He used to play for um,
Chelsea. Are you thinking?
no. Valencia. Is it Valencia?
Yeah,
Um,
could be.
he's a central defender, but Barcelona plays him on the right with dreadlocks. I'm sure you
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The name escapes me now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's him, and then there's also he just that this guy the Uruguayan, or is it Uruguayan? It's dogged by injuries. A central
Mm.
defender, but playing very well. In Barcelona, they are a team to watch. Remember, they've beaten
I'm sure.
Madrid now with many 5-0, 5-0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And once they start scoring, they continue to score. But
That's why I'm giving the edge to Real Madrid in this case because in previous games, Barcelona's had lots of the upper hands.
mm,
So
mm,
I think they want revenge now, and they're at
mm,
home. So
mm,
and
mm,
like we said, Mbappe.
mm.
Yeah,
But I've seen the English guy in the middle, the one who was in Dortmund.
Oh,
He's not on form.
Bellingham. Bellingham.
Bellingham, yeah. He's not on form. I think
Yeah.
he had a problem with injury.
Hmm.
I thought this year was going to set this year alight, but I haven't seen that yet. But
Mm.
maybe this is a game to introduce himself. Say,
Shine.
hey guys, Yeah, maybe I've forgotten about Bellingham. I'm still around, eh? And I can still cause havoc. And then maybe this is a
Yeah,
game that where he's gonna start. Because remember, there's no player who wants to miss this game. Everybody wants to play. If you ask players, they will say, even those who are injured, this one they want to play.
yeah, yeah. Strap
Yeah,
me up, get me on the pitch. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll watch the game very closely. And then any other news that you would like to share before I go to the Messi special? As
Let's not forget Champions League for Mamelodi. They're
oh,
5-1 up. Yeah, they should take this one. You know, they're playing. Who is it again now? Rumo Stars, is it?
Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, I think they're playing Rumo Stars, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just check that.
Okay.
Yeah, Rumo Stars.
Oh, yeah.
They're 5-1 up. That's tomorrow at 3:30. And
Yeah.
then we've got the Chiefs one. We can't forget our Chiefs supporters here as well in the CAF
Yeah.
Confederation Cup. That could be a bit of a tricky one if they're not careful. There's the aggregates 0-0. It's like Kaizer Chiefs versus AS Simba. Again,
Mm-hmm,
another DRC related team.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And that's at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then I
mm-hmm.
think the other news that is being rumored at the moment is Natwari is possibly the next person that's going to be leaving Amakosi,
And
the
Douare.
keeper. Yeah,
Yeah.
Natwari.
To be
That
honest,
doesn't surprise me that, yeah.
yeah, to be honest, I've never been
He's not
impressed
getting
by
game.
him.
Yeah, but he's
Eh,
not getting game. He
Yeah.
didn't get game under the previous coach, and now the other guys don't seem to favor him either, whether
He's
you
not.
like him or not. So,
He's not my
no.
favorite guy, to be honest. In fact, sometimes I would ask questions why they could not continue with what? Say it again. Kune, because for me, Kune is even better than Tuare. That's my opinion. Remember, I may be wrong. Okay, I may be
Yeah, but he's
wrong.
Brandon Peterson's holding him out there, so
Who Brandon is
but
holding who
yeah,
out? Uh,
he's
is holding who?
Natwari.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, we will watch the space and see what's gonna happen. But yeah, we will watch the space and see whether when Brendan leaves, maybe Chiefs will buy another player. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I don't know if you are
You will
done.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah, let's go to
yeah,
the
yeah.
Messi special as the last part of the show. Pete, I was making an observation. I'm sure you can also make. This is what I picked up. They said what really brought a serious division between Messi and Laporta was largely precipitated by the fact that he wanted Laporta to buy Neymar. Sorry about that. And then Laporta did not show any willingness to do that, especially after they left. Now, the issue was not about Laporta did not want to buy Neymar. Okay, apparently, this is a rumor. Apparently, Messi was fed up with promises, unfulfilled promises. Okay, remember when Laporta was going to be re-elected? Messi was one of the people who went for voting to sway the vote. That's how he won his presidency. And apparently, there are a lot of unfulfilled promises that Laporte could not meet. And now this brings me to what I wanted to say to you. I was studying Messi and David Beckham. In fact, I was looking at David Beckham. I said, this guy seems to know exactly what he wanted, and he did his homework around Messi. Now, if you look at this one, this story, if it's true, it is said for Messi to renew the contract. Remember, he signed for another 3 years. He said, I'll sign if you bring Neymar. All right.
Mm.
If you bring Neymar, then I'll sign. So Beckham said, no way, no problem. I'll sign Neymar. And Neymar is itching to reunite with Messi again. And the MSN is going to reborn. Now, where it's very dicey, apparently also want Dani Alves to come back. Apparently, even if not, he's going to be a player, but in the management, Dani Alves. This brings another element because it shows that this guy has human element in him. Remember, Dani Alves is going through tough times, especially financially. So that tells me something. So my analysis of David Beckham, he saw that Messi loves his wife and children. Then when they lure him, they promise that you'll have a home environment, okay? Then he said, when he relates his story, he said, they started long time, 3 years ago, before they came. The first step that he did, he went to go and see Messi's father, talk to him, Jorge. Said, look, we want your son to join us. But we know it's not going to be easy because that man loves Barcelona. We are not even sure whether we'll be able to convince him. But we want to, I mean, that's a sign of respect. We want to say to you, that's our wish. All right. He never went to Messi himself. He went to Jorge. Then Jorge said, that decision, it's not on me, it's on him entirely. And apparently, Messi didn't want to hear anything about leaving Barcelona at no point. All right, so this is one thing that I've been observing. So Messi is always with his wife. David Beckham, he also comes to the stadium with his wife, Victoria. All right? Not only that, his children too, they come with him, okay? It doesn't end there. Last week, I don't know whether you saw, the mom was there, okay? And we all know that Messi is in favor of his mom. He's got a tattoo of the mom at the back of Eddie's back. Did you understand? So it's not a coincidence. It shows that this guy has done his homework. That if I want to keep this guy, I want to keep him happy. And look, even the players that are coming there, these are Messi's friends. People will make him feel at home. I don't know. What do you want to say? I've just touched on those things to say, because I'm showing a point of saying football, it's about psychology.
Human element, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. You want to add something?
You cannot exclude it. It's part of the game. It is. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Nobody wants to go and just do a job and come home, even if it is a good job, and even if it is, we all want to feel like we are respected and wanted, and all those nice things. And it is important. It is important. Like you can think of certain employees here that, they'll put a creche. Normally, the bigger corporates, it's not your small companies that can do that, but the bigger corporates are building creche there because they know the talented mums that they want to still work for them, and not run away somewhere else. They know that their kids are going to be safe because they've provided an environment for it. So it's a completely different workplace that we used to experience when we were younger. You just went to work and you went home and you were thankful for a job, etc., etc. But this is a different environment now. We become, the human element is becoming more of an issue, and that sport's no different. So for me, it shows maturity. When you look, you can't provide the football players with everything, but you've got to be seen to care about their well-being and their private lives. If as part of the job. I mean, sure, we want to win games. We want to get the players out there. We want to win titles. We want to win cups, etc., etc. That is the ultimate goal. Excuse the pun, but you know, it shows the maturity. And you know, there's many instances where that's been seen of recent time now. So I think it's becoming more of a norm, which is a good thing, I think, because well, life's not getting easier, is it? You know. So
Yeah, sure, sure. And the good news, the under-16 tournament that has been started by Messi, his son will be playing there in that tournament. This morning he scored a very beautiful header. Messi has scored all different goals. One goal is in the corner. Even this morning he tried the corner. It hit the crossbar. Because every game he tries. But this man is a genius. He's a genius. I watched the game. He was something else. He's classy. This is where I heard this guy talking about him. And by the way, he's a man of the player of the month for the fifth time in MLS this season. And then, and remember, if they win this game because they're playing the second round next week, they go to the semi-final of the what do they call this cup? No, we still have to learn about MLS. There's too much complication what they're doing there. Different. This is a semi-final, and then after that there will be final. So there's still a chance of him winning something. And then yeah. Now I also did a bit of analysis since they left Europe, both of them, with Ronaldo. All right. Messi played 82 games, Ronaldo 118. Messi has scored 71, Ronaldo 105. But I think this was before yesterday or this morning's game. And then Messi has done 36 assists. And then Ronaldo 21 assists. Messi has scored 4 penalties, Ronaldo 27. Free kicks, Messi has scored 6, Ronaldo 5. Man of the matches is 37. That exclude even yesterday. This morning could be 38. And then trophies, Messi has got 2, Ronaldo has got 0. So that's it. That's the story for our show this morning. I hope you enjoy our show. We you know, you are short of one thing. There's Man City feature. Feature. Those two, you know, they're there. Well, somehow we also bring Man United. But these two, you know, they're always there. Pete, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. And then I want to hear people what you think. Are we supposed to return that favor of being treated badly by the clubs in Africa? Or should we show gentleman's spirit and continue to treat them well and win in the field of play? So that's the question that I want you to answer. Pete, you have already said it, that we need to continue to do
lead by example.
Lead by example. Yeah. The Mandela children, we are known to be like that. So maybe we need to continue that tradition. But sometimes it's unacceptable.
It's difficult, you know. But...
yeah, sometimes it's unacceptable. But you know what? Like you're saying, lead by example. Thank you so much, Pete. Beat the viewers.
Yep. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Hope you enjoy the show. Saubrey, have a great weekend too. And we'll chat next week. Yeah.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Bye-bye.
See you then. Bye.